This is the God Rashad. Chop it up with you a little bit. This is Crown Knowledge Radio. Those with sight can only see the light. Power in the crown, in the crown, in the crown.
Good evening, everyone. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is Jordana, and this is Crown Knowledge Radio. Coming back to you again, you guys, with another energy check on what is happening with the with the universe, with the world today. We are still shifting. The shift is definitely shifting. By now, there's really nothing new under the sun. Again, everybody is feeling it one way or another. If you are on social media anywhere, and it's really not even social media anymore, just news, period. You are seeing, feeling, or somehow understanding that things just aren't the same, right? Things are definitely different. Things are definitely changing. And I'm just doing a quick energy check based on the MKUltra Senate hearings that just went down, a couple of days ago, June. I'm going to say it was the 20th or the 19th, somewhere around there. But anyway, the MKUltra Senate hearings that just went down a few weeks back, last part of June, and where they had individuals come in and actually give testimony regarding MKUltra, whether it was a thing or not, and whether or not confirmation was a thing, and also the individuals that were there to witness whether MKUltra was a thing or not. They were actually testifying on the knowledge and information they had regarding evidence, receipts. Again, I talk about receipts all the time. If you are going to, especially something this huge, this is big. And it's big in a way where these Senate hearings were necessary in order to find out what in some cases decades ago, 50, 60, and in some cases 70 years or more ago, what happened with these individuals, what tactics, I don't even know what to call it at this point, what tactics were used to torture, torment, and in some cases eliminate individuals that were involved. I got a little confused with the lady, the female that was there. It was two older men and a female who looked like she just stepped out of the womb. I don't know. Y'all need to go back and watch it and look at it. But I was a little confused. She was with the NIH, and she was a little confused as to why she was there. And clearly it was to testify regarding the behavior and the misbehavior, misappropriation, malfunction, or whatever the case might be surrounding MKUltra. Briefly, they talked about under that umbrella the action or behavior of using directed energy weapons, and that's where I'm going today. I'm going to that little piece, and again, The one that I listened to, of course, that was streamed on YouTube, it wasn't that long, and in there I was listening for something that alluded to targeting, which the whole thing is pretty much targeting. It's pretty much targeted individuals who were experimented on. To the point where they were under this type of or particular type of mind control, manipulation. I heard certain chemicals were involved, that type of thing. So if you listen to the whole hearing, or the parts of the hearing that did go down, and the testimony that these particular gentlemen gave regarding this, I'm not going to rehash the whole hearing. It's out there. It's being streamed live. Go out there and listen to it again. If you're not familiar as to why I'm doing this particular type of energy check, then you haven't listened to Crown Knowledge Radio. Let's go to Patreon, Instagram. I'm posting links. Substack.com and Stage 32. Patreon just did some housekeeping, so I'm going to be posting some of the information that I wasn't able to post. I'm going to post over on Patreon, and I'm going to be attempting to go live over there as well on Patreon. So definitely don't miss out on that. And if you want to hear the archive shows, again, a lot of my information you may hear has changed a bit. It's adjusted to how the universe, the world is going right now. So check that all out. Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com is where all my archive shows are. There's well over 100 shows now. When I first started Crown Knowledge Radio. So go back, see if this is your flavor. It's not your flavor. If there's something that particularly strikes you, doesn't strike you, whether you like it or don't like it, thank you for stopping by, and I appreciate it. But moving forward, Crown Knowledge Radio will be opening up on other platforms, different platforms. There's hundreds of them out there now. So whatever ones that best fit this type of scenario for Crown Knowledge Radio. Remember, it's all about truth, it's all about light, and it's definitely all about love. I am Durdana, daughter of infinite love and goddess of divine light. That is the name that the Most High gave me. So let's keep that clear. So moving forward, today's energy check is about the Senate hearings and the MKUltra hearings that just went down. If you missed it, it was the latter part of June. I don't know why I didn't look the date up, but I know it was before my birthday, which was a few weeks ago. But it definitely opened up. It's huge. Substack.com is talking about it as well. What next? Where do they go from here? What did this do for this particular type of behavior that's been leveled on individuals according to these hearings for decades? For decades, this has been going on. They brought up Charles Manson. Like for decades, this has been going on. For decades, this behavior has been, overlooked, covered up, swept under the rug, ignored. What happened and why? I get what it was initially implemented for. Apparently, it was initially for counterterrorism, counterintelligence, to extract information, to see whose side is going to win or not win. My understanding is that there were American individuals in a foreign country that were implementing these type of trials, behavior, experimentation on individuals to extract information. Some said just for experimentation. And they alluded to the whole Charles Manson thing. I'm not going to repeat all of that here, what happened, what they thought was going on with Manson at the time, and what they have receipts for. Let's be clear. This gentleman testified to having knowledge, if not first-hand knowledge, of chemical manipulation and other types of behavior, treatment, experimentation that led to some of the criminal behavior that happened to certain individuals, and one of them being Charles Manson. So there was some manipulation involved. They knew him when, and so on and so forth. So go back, and if you have not, again, listen to the MKUltra hearings. This is wide open knowledge now. It's open information. It's not, there's no more covering it up. There are investigations ongoing. And again, briefly, they mentioned direct energy weapons, which I have mentioned several times, and the individuals over on Substack.com. They've mentioned several times that these type of devices are being used on private citizens, me being one of them, on an ongoing basis for at least 10 years or more. In my case, some individuals even longer. As we speak, as my voice is going over the airwaves right now on this social media platform, wherever it's posted, direct energy weapons are being used in my neighborhood, a residential neighborhood in a private area on a private citizen in a criminal way, without my consent, without my authorization for it to be done. This is being done repeatedly. And a lot of the information that's over on Substack.com, you'll see photos. You'll see actual pictures of individuals explaining that direct energy weapons are being used. Direct energy devices are being used. Some type of microwave device is being used. Some type of microwave behavior is happening in and around and to them and their surrounding family, loved ones, in a way that they did not consent to. I am saying yes, absolutely 100% that those weapons are being used on me in my neighborhood. This isn't the first time that I've recorded this or put this in one of my postings, and I have reported it to those same authorities that have an interest in that MKUltra hearing. I have reported it. How I got here is still, that is weird. Because these individuals and people and places and titles and authorities that they're mentioning have nothing to do with me. Now, let me be clear. Do I know individuals who are somewhat military connected? I know of people that may be connected even to my family that were military connected. Absolutely. Do I know individuals who may have had the funds or knowledge or wherewithal to implement such a behavior on me personally? Absolutely. Do I know of individuals who would go out of their way to obtain what they call, quote unquote, illegal DEWs to use on private citizens? Absolutely. And they also mentioned over on Substack that one of the issues is being able to be diagnosed. And that's kind of another area for me. Like, everybody does not have the opportunity or access to. Now, that list is growing, and it's growing fast and long, of physicians or doctors in that area or medical individuals who have obtained the knowledge of brain injury. And as it relates to the Havana syndrome, if you want to hear all of that again, it's over there on Substack.com. Just search for it. It'll come right up. And being able to be diagnosed with anomalous, I believe they call it, brain injury that is caused by certain microwave frequencies or microwaves or direct energy projections that is done on a regular basis over periods of time. They now have a way to diagnose that. Been out there, actually. It's not in all areas. That is the problem with some individuals who are experiencing attacks, because that's basically what it is, such as myself, that are experiencing attacks in areas that currently don't offer that diagnosis, at least to my knowledge. And again, the list is growing, and it's growing fast. I think they come close to the surrounding area as far as states go, but not directly in the state that I am aware of. Again, that could have changed today. The last time I checked, it wasn't on the list. So this is a problem for several states and individuals who are experiencing this type of behavior, these types of attacks that are unwarranted, illegal, unauthorized, and lethal in a lot of circumstances. Well, Donna, what does this have to do with MKUltra? Because they mentioned in these hearings, they opened the door to investigation of direct energy weapons being used on private citizens in residential area, in private citizens' homes and residential areas. That's weird. But I wish I could say, is that true or is it not true? I can 1000% say that it's true. I happen to be one of those individuals that's being attacked, and these particular devices used on me on a regular basis. Since I don't know when, and again, I will say at least 10 years or longer. Without my knowledge, without my consent, these particular individuals have obtained these particular devices illegally. Because again, as mentioned over on Substack, you cannot obtain these particular types of devices from military or military authority or whoever initially designed and implemented these weapons without higher authority or knowledge. They would have had to have been obtained illegally. So what these devices are capable of doing, to my understanding, and some of which is happening to me, can cause irrevocable or permanent damage in a lot of cases, or even unaliving. So if you are using a device, let's just say it's a pew-pew, and you have rubber ammunition, let's just say that, and you target someone, let's just say in the temple area, enough, even if it doesn't penetrate, right? If you target someone in the temple, let's just say 75 to 50 times, do you think it would do any damage to that person, that human? Of course it would. Probably put their lights out, right? Yeah. Let's just say it's a stun G. You know what I mean? Let's say it's a stunner. And you use that stunner in someone's spinal cord, and you hold it there for, let's just say, an hour. And people say, shit, an hour is 20 minutes, right? An hour? Yeah, your lights went out 15 minutes ago. An hour, you're pretty much cooked, right? You're pretty much cooked, right? Let's just say it's water. Something as innocent as people say water is not innocent. Water is not innocent. But let's just say something as simple as a bucket of water. And you put a towel over someone's face and you slowly pour that bucket of water over their face with the towel over it. Everybody knows what that's called. I'm not saying anything bright or brilliant, right? Everybody knows what that's called. I don't have to name it, right? If you slowly pour that bucket of water, say the bucket is a big bucket, it's a few gallons. If you pour it for like 15 minutes, what's going to happen to the human? Their lights are probably going to go out, right? Of course, absolutely. This and a whole lot more that I couldn't even begin to make up. Don't take my word for it. Like I said, there is social media everywhere that is talking about this and a whole lot more. But I'm going to speak right now on what I know based on my experience and what is currently transpiring in my neighborhood to me personally. My understanding is that there could be some sort of device that was implanted in my person, in my body, let's just say. I know where I got tagged, and I know who did it. I don't know them personally, but I can point them out. I know where I was at the time I got tagged, and I know who did it. And then there's another device, maybe a recorder or some type of a visual device, maybe a camera that's also been implanted to indicate and notify my whereabouts at all times, no matter where I am. Sounds weird, right? Now, I've heard this before, and again, if you Google this information, and those of you who are smart enough to locate where to find this information, but you can go right over to Substack.com. It is out there free and open to the public. I've heard a couple of my spiritual readers, they have also come up with that information without me even saying a word. I told nobody until a few posts back, I mentioned it. But I told no one. So how someone just pulled that out the blue is that's kind of interesting that could really be a thing. And I do suspect at this point that is definitely something that happened to me. And I remember the moment that it happened and what I felt. So could that be a possibility? Absolutely. There are several individuals, and when I say several, it's probably hundreds, but there are several individuals in and around my immediate vicinity that watch me 24/7. Today, if you ride down the street, you'd be like, what is she talking about? We don't see any traffic. We don't see people. There are empty houses. Grass is growing up and around the house. We don't see anybody. What is she seeing that we don't see? And those of you who are targeted know what I'm talking about. But at any given moment, 24/7, 365, at least over the last 10 plus years, there's somebody that's been watching and following me every single day, including today. As of yesterday, I had a pickup truck that came from out of nowhere and attempted to rear end me and my disabled brother while he was in the vehicle with me. Now, there were cars behind me. Everybody's going the speed limit. They slowed down, and this pickup truck that was already wrecked in the front barreled in a 25 mile per hour speed limit zone, barreling, doing 60 easy, right towards my rear. Had I not turned or took my time turning, the intent was to rear end me or cause some type of a wreck with myself and my disabled brother who was in the car with me. Now, they watch me all day, every day, 24 hours a day, so they know that I have a disabled brother. They know I have two brothers that are slightly cognitively disabled. They know this. They have this information on me and my family. They know where I am at any given moment. There are individuals that have been assigned to follow me around all day, every day. There are individuals right now listening to this show. And again, it's no secret. You've heard me mention it in other shows. You know, my computer is hacked. They've been playing with it all day. My phone is definitely copied. My phone has been cloned, and the camera that's on my computer right now, they can see me up close and personal. I know this. They know that I know it. And as this information comes out, like this MKUltra hearings that is now out in the open, public knowledge, anybody can look it up. It's not hidden. They have opened the door. They've opened the door. They, meaning the Senate and these particular individuals, thank goodness that they almost got, no disrespect to these gentlemen, because I actually praise them for being brave enough to come out and lend the Senate some receipts, but they almost got too old. They almost ended up with the rest of the individuals, because a lot of the names that they mentioned, they followed it by they are now deceased. I mean, they almost waited too late. It was almost, but they did mention DEW devices, which is part of, in itself, gang stalking, which I talk a lot about if you've heard my postings in my show. Dordonna, how did you get wrapped up in this? You got me. How did you become a part of this? I don't have a clue. Well, I take that back. I have a clue. Doesn't mean it's the right clue, but I do have a clue. There are several clues, and it connects to several individuals based on the information that I have now regarding gang stalking, targeting, the different campaigns, noise campaign, smear campaign, the sabotage, the threats, harassment, street theater, vandalizing property, poking the bear, sending the children in. Yes, children are being used to gang stalk individuals. They are part of the harassment and provoking campaign. And as of 48 hours ago, they use that as well. So within the last 48 to 72 hours, they have used children to provoke me. And it's not the first time. But I'm just talking about the last 48 to 72 hours. And they have used the strategic car wreck maneuvers on the road to try and attempt to make myself, along with my family member, be harmed. Which is very, very... Who's looking for that? I got to the point where I ended up having to report it. I had to report it. So again, this still all goes with the narrative that we have to do something to make this person act out so that we can record it and take it to some authorities and say, yeah, this is the reason why we're watching this person. See, look at them. They're crazy. It's something wrong with them. That narrative doesn't work anymore. So they've amped up the behavior. because they know that that narrative doesn't work anymore. It can't. Now that these MKUltra hearings and other hearings to come. So shout out to Targeted Justice and what they're doing and the hearings that they have coming up. It can no longer, that narrative that they don't have a receipt for can't play out. It's got to be something else. And it's looking like, well, maybe if we just put our lights out. Because at this point, this is what they're reaching for. The MKUltra hearings open the door. Listen to me, targeted individuals. You now have the power for real, for real. They are scrambling. They are reaching for crumbs, and they are trying to hide the behavior that's already transpired. They are trying to cover up their behavior because they did not see this coming. They thought it was always going to be under the rug. It was always going to be, we are protected by the higher authorities. We can come out here and do and treat people any way we want to and laugh about it. In my case, and I've heard, like I said, I've heard other streamers and other targeted individuals say the same thing. These people do this and they sit back and they laugh about it. It's funny to target an innocent, I'm talking about innocent people here. The other stuff, criminal stuff that's going on, I don't have anything to do. I'm talking about, and most, if not all, of the targeted individuals have committed no crime. They've done nothing wrong. So what is this? Is it experimentation? And I'm really just like, I'm asking the question on it, because is it this was all in the name of, I want to say science, but maybe not just science. Maybe this is all in the name of maybe better strategies for battle. I don't know what to call it. I really don't. But all of this is now open knowledge. It's no longer hidden. They can't come for me and say, oh, you talking about stuff that you don't know nothing about, that nobody's ever talked about before. It was right there on the whole screen for everybody to see and hear. As a matter of fact, a friend brought it to my attention, or I would have never seen it. And they sent me the screenshot and say, hey, have you seen this? And as much as I'm on Substack, you would think I would have never missed it, right? Based on what I'm saying that's going on in my life, you would think I would be all over it, right? I would have never seen it. Based on probably all of the sabotage and blocking and misinformation and hindering and interference going on with the watchers, the blockers, the handlers, gang stalkers, targeters in my neighborhood, because they stay in my life 24/7 to try to stop me from getting mail, groceries, money out of the ATM. It's weird, along with some other things that we want to just slow her down. We want to block her from doing what she does in her daily life on a regular. And I'm not I know you guys that are out there that are targeted, you get what I'm saying. I just move about my day. I move right on about my day. And those particular individuals are also known as the flunkies, junkies, flying monkeys. And you'll hear that, because that's basically what they are. They're flunkies for those individuals who are flunkies for higher up individuals, and those higher up individuals are flunkies for those powers that run this program. So they're very low on the totem pole. Very low. And so if they're out here riding around in their leased, rented, or otherwise borrowed vehicle in order to make it look like some of these attacks or tactics that are used are random. That's the idea. They want to make it look random as possible, so that oh no, well, when did this happen? Oh my goodness, what happened? So now they can make it look or seem as though when you see a raggedy car driving weird on the road, that's the person that's supposed to hit you. Seemingly. Sometimes. Maybe not all the time. But when you see a car that already has wreckage and it looks old and it's kind of beat up already, that's the person they want to slam into you. The rest of them are to get you to do something erratic. I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't recommend it. But that's to get you to do something erratic so that they can maybe put a tail on you. They'll call the authorities. Hey, there's a car and this is a license plate number and they're driving. I saw them almost run over a child. It could be a lie. This person almost ran into me. It could be a lie. But the law officials don't have a way of weeding out the lies from the truth. They don't have a way to do that when someone calls in with something serious to put a tail on you. And they've done that to me on more than one occasion, which is very weird. even at my house, even at my own, like sitting in front of my own house. Anyway, I digress from that. But nonetheless, these MKUltra hearings are now open. It is now open knowledge. It is now public knowledge, just like the alien files, and I would dare to say the other PDF files. All of those files are now open knowledge, open record. Anybody can, chime in on this information. It's no longer hidden. It is no longer a figment of someone's imagination. So now, again, one of the ladies on the Senate opened up the floor to directed energy devices that are also being used. So again, this is no longer a figment of your imagination. It's real. It's happening. So the investigation will involve the who, the where, and the why. Very soon. And again, this isn't something I'm making up. Again, go to TikTok, social media, anywhere. They're talking about it. And if you listen to my post regarding the newscast that was done on targeting and gang stalking, and Mr. Robinson, who has I believe the home that helps to seek information and answers for individuals who are currently being targeted, right? So this is a main news stream story. This isn't the first time you've heard me say that. Again, go back and listen to some of my recent shows over the last maybe several weeks, maybe couple of months, and I've mentioned the mainstream news now picking up on targeting and gang stalking. So again, Dordana, we're going to ask the question, how did you get it? But I think a lot of people can say, like, wow, how did I get involved in this? And a lot of people can tell you their story. Well, this is my family member and they're angry, or this is a coworker and they're angry. I worked for so and so and they're angry. So it could be a retaliation, a retaliatory situation. Absolutely. I briefly met someone and they're military connected. Could that be a scenario? Absolutely. I was somewhere where I didn't know that this particular type of behavior was going on, and I heard or saw something that I wasn't supposed to. And someone feels like I got knowledge that I might accidentally speak about. Well, if I don't know what it is, first of all, that is purely an accident. But if I have knowledge of something and behavior that I know of, I haven't spoke about it yet, but you've already came for me anyway. That's weird. Or it could be a situation where someone that is military connected got a contract. So now, okay, they're down to what kind of contract? A contract to get rid of you. Well, why? Do they need a reason? Depends on how much the contract is, right? They don't really need a reason. I would even wager to bet they don't care. What's the reason? I would even go further to say they really don't know the truth. They just know that this person has got this amount of money on this contract and this person's got to go. That's all they know, and that's all they care about. So they have to use people that don't care. Junkies, flunkies, flying monkeys don't care. Flunkies, junkies, and flying monkeys, they got bills to pay and kids to feed that they can't pay or feed. They got things to do that they can no longer do and they probably used to do before they became a junkie. And they want to be able to do them things again. You could be their only ticket to a new life. They got to do what they got to do to get done what they need to get done. That's all they know. They don't know that you are a sister or an aunt or a mother or a grandmother for that, or a grandfather. You're an uncle to somebody. You're a caregiver to someone. You've cared for your family. You've done nothing but stand up for yourself in a lot of cases, and somebody didn't like it. So they sick these dogs on you. These animals. They sick them on you. Yeah, I'm gonna do this to this person since they think they so smart, right? So now you got a whole gang. And again, y'all gonna hear me laughing through it because a lot of people are saying, "Now you don't act like what you're going through. You don't look like what you're going through." Well, if I knew what I was going through, I probably would act accordingly, but I don't know. I don't know these people. I don't know this behavior. It is foreign to me. I don't know who they are or where they come from. They say, well, it could be your family. It could be people who thought they were family to me. I might have thought they were family to me as well. But I promise you, I wouldn't know why or where some of these individuals come from. Now, family that I know who were coerced, paid, manipulated, and lied to go along with this information, I know who they are. They have showed their hand over and over and over, to the point where I really don't think they care that I know that they're involved in some small way. And it's more than one family member. And I mean direct family member, like I grew up with these people. So I know who they are. They've showed their hand. They've let me know. Yeah, they gave me a little something in my pocket to do you dirty, fam. They gave me a little snippet of a piece of something to get me to get me a step up, give me a little boost if I really turned on you, if I really did something, dirty to get what I got. It was a little something. They told me they wasn't gonna hurt you, but And they went for it. They actually took the bait. They actually believed whatever this smear campaign was with no receipts. That's weird. No receipts. No prior behavior. No indication. Me just going to the family reunion. I'm laughing because if y'all saw what I saw at the family reunion, it's better to laugh than to cry, because it's like, what? But it is what it is. On more than one family reunion, not just one. But it's like, okay, Dordonna, you be the bigger person. Turn a blind eye. Don't even mention it. Just let it go. But there becomes a time where they're not going to allow you to let it go. They're not going to allow you to let it go. So with this last 5 minutes, I'm going to say, don't let it go. Don't let it go. Your voice needs to get louder because you now have the power. They don't know that. They're out here on the streets still thinking, we're going to get in, get it done, and get out. That's what they're thinking. But you have the power now. It's the power is now in your hands. Not because you got it. This is the Most High God making the universe line up and being sick of these junkies, flunkies, and flying monkeys. Enough is enough. If you've ever wanted your voice to be heard, it's right now. If you ever wanted yourself to be seen in regard to this targeting and gang stalking, it's now. If you ever wanted these people to be exposed in what they're doing and why they're doing it and how they're doing it and who they're doing it to, by way of who they're doing it from, now is the time. This Senate hearing has opened the door. Somehow, some way, somewhere, the Most High God was like, this is the door right here. This is the one. And all the other doors are going to, you know how in the prison when they open one door, all the other doors unlock? Like that kind of energy. So let them do whatever it is they need to do. Let them call whoever they need to call. Let them set up whatever they need to set up. The Most High God is doing this. Because, like I said, most, if not all, of these individuals, including myself, who are being targeted, are innocent. There has been no crimes committed for someone to level this kind of information, this kind of behavior on innocent citizens for no reason. And a lot of people have already lost their lives. I am Dordonna, and this is Crown Knowledge Radio. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see each other again real soon. Not that I see you right now, but I will very soon. Thank you for rocking with me. Goodbye.